Hi, I'm Darius Arya for Digging History. Today we're going to talk about the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum was one of the most historic places in the world. It was the commercial center, the religious center, the political center for the Romans. It started off with humble beginnings, basically just a depression between the Capitoline and the Palatine Hills, but over time it develops into this very important epicenter, not just of the city of Rome, but of the entire Roman Empire. And that space gets crammed in with all kinds of monuments over hundreds and hundreds of years. Religious buildings, commercial buildings, political centers. It is the heart of the Roman Empire and the Roman world. Religious buildings abound in the Roman Forum area. The Temple of Saturn, the Temple of the Castors, Temple of Vesta, Temple of Antonius Pius and Faustina, the Temple of Vespasian. Also inaugurated spaces, the templum spaces, like the Curia itself. So these are many religious spaces. And then of course they have political meaning and use. So the fiscal officers or the quaestors are meeting in the Temple of Saturn. The consuls are meeting inside the Temple of the Castors. So we're getting a different kind of use than what we'd expect from our contemporary society. But in antiquity, you're double dipping. These buildings have multiple uses and multiple aspects of life. The Forum was a commercial center. Now, where do we see evidence of that commercial center today? Well, we have shops in the front of the Imperial Basilica Aemilia, and we have shops behind, so on the back side of the Basilica Julia. If we go along the Vicus Tuscus, it winds right around into the Horia Grippiana, so that's a Horia very well preserved right around the corner. We have shops butting up against the base of the Temple of the Castors, and up the road on the Via Sacra, just above the Forum proper, there are Horia spaces, warehouse spaces, which are going to be refurbished over time, and the best preserved ones that you see along the slopes of the Palatine Hill will be dating to the time of Vespasian. So there are many examples of commercial shops in and around the Forum area. The Forum Piazza itself was filled with monuments. We know of so many statues that were deposited there, that were dedicated there, so many that this forest of statues included many that were not sanctioned by the Senate, so they were periodically removed. We know that there were many shrines, there were small temples, there were magnificent equestrian statues, some of the outlines of which are still preserved today. But for the most part, what do you see in the piazza itself today? Very little. But you do see the Lacus Curtius, you do see some holes leading down to shafts for subterranean passageways for the some of the more original gladiatorial games that took place in the Republican period. And you see some trees that have been replanted with the excavation of the Forum itself. We know that spontaneously there grew through the pavements a fig tree, an olive tree, a vine, and these were symbols of the greatness of Rome, and they were very important trees that were sort of signaling the prosperity of the city. And when they died, it was a bad omen, and then they would be replanted again. And so the excavators decided to replant them as well. Thanks for watching Digging History, and stay tuned for more episodes on Digging History TV on YouTube and our website, romanculture.org.